Okay, so this is the cranial bones. This is the frontal bone. These are your two parietal bones, and this is your occipital bone in the back, and then this little thing right here is the external occipital protuberance. Then you have the your temporal bone, so you have the temporal mandibular joint, which is right here, the mastoid process, which is here on the side, and then you have the styloid process, which is it's right there on the inside, and then the external acoustic meatus is right here, right there, and then the sigmoid part, which is part of the temporal bone on the side of the head, would be somewhere right in here, but it's not, there's really not defined on this. Then you have the inside, the internal view. So if we're looking at it this way with the teeth facing, face facing you, then we have the petrous part, which is the temporal bone, which is right here. And then the hearing organs are housed in there. And then you have the internal acoustic meatus, which are these two little holes back there. And then the facial nerves travel through there. Then the siphonoid. Um, you have the lateral and orbital parts of the greater wing. This is the greater wing right here. And then it's hard to see, but in here you would have your superior orbital fissure, and the ocular nerve passes through there, and the trochlear nerve passes through there. Then still the internal view, the lesser wing is here. The greater wing is down here like this. It's hard in here, right in there. And then the optic canal is these little holes right here. And the ophthalmic artery and the central retinal vein pass through there. Then you have the sella tertia, or which is I believe those are down in here. Okay, and then you have the ethmoid, the internal view, the crystal gala is right here, and then you have the cribriform plate, which is here. The crystal gala secures the dura mater to the bone. The cribriform is here, and it has the olfactory receptors. Then we'll go back to the sutures. Put this back together. So the sutures, you have the corneal, which makes the parietal bones, the frontal bone, because this is the corneal right here. So it's the parietal bones, the frontal bones, and the saphenous bone. And then the sagittal, which is here, is both of the parietal bones. And the lambdoid, which is this little squiggly one back here, is the occipital bone, makes up that. And then the squamous, which is kind of hard because it's not really there. I don't know if you can see, but this is the parietal bone, the temporal bone, and the sigmoid bone. That's what makes up the squamous. And then the facial bones, you have the maxilla, which is in there, and then the nasal, which is here, the zygomatic bone, which is where's the zygomatic? I think that's somewhere here too. And then the ethmoid depression is actually on the inside of the nasal bone. And then the vomer, which is this little thing separating here, is and it says what two bones form the nasal septum? Is the ethmoid and the sphenoid. Then the inferior nasal concha is inside the nose, and that helps to warm and moisturize the air. The mandible, you have the body, then the angle, then the ramus, and then the condyle. The mandible notch, is this right here. Put it back. Okay. And then the coronate process is actually this point right here. Okay. And now we go to the vertebral column, and the four curves are here. It's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. The thoracic and sacral are the primary, and then the lumbar and the cervical are the secondary. There are 7 cervical vertebrae. Then the atlas is right here, and it's it attaches to the first cervical vertebrae, and it helps you to move your head. What is unique about the transverse process of all cervical vertebrae is that it provides attachment for the muscles and the lumbar vertebrae. There are, for the thoracic, there are 12 of those. The spinous process is this right here, and the transverse process is these bones on the side, and the intervertebral foramen is the space that is on the inside. It's like right in here, and that houses the spinal nerves, and the spinal column runs through there also. And then the body is this thick part right here on the side. And then the intervertebral disc is the little line that's right here. The lumbar vertebrae, there are 5 of them. And the sacrum, there's only 1 and this is the coccyx. The sternum. The sternum is, you have the manubrium, which is the top, and then the body is the middle. The xiphoid process is here, and the jugular notch is right here. Rib